Hello, friends. Once again, a very warm welcome to you all at your own YouTube channel for English literature, Lit E City. Friends, we are discussing about some great poets of English literature, and we started with the poet's poet. In the first section, we discussed Spenser's early works, and in this lesson, we will talk about the later period of his life. We have already seen the influences on the poetry of Spenser, how he wrote some of his very popular and famous poems, and in this lesson we will talk about the later period और जिसके अंदर स्पेंसर ने अपनी कुछ और बहुत ही सिग्निफिकेंट पोएम्स लिखी. Friends, these lessons are important not only for the better understanding of the writing of Spenser, but also from NAT and other competitive exams related with English literature. So without wasting any more time, let's start this lesson. And friends, the first work which we will discuss in our class today is Amoreti. Friends, Amoreti is a sonnet sequence. It's a sonnet sequence. And what is a sonnet sequence? Sonnet sequence देखिए क्या होता है, in which a poet writes more than one sonnet, and all these sonnets, they are interrelated to each other, they are joined to each other by some common theme, or they are addressed to one particular person. That and this was quite a popular practice during the Elizabethan age. Elizabethan age में चाहे सैमुअल डैनियल से हम बात करें या फिर फिलिप सिडनी की बात करें, इन सब ने सोनेट सीक्वेंसेस लिखे. और एक और इंपॉर्टेंट बात मैं यहां पर आपको बताना चाहूंगा, लगभग जितने सोनेट सीक्वेंसेस हैं दे आर बेसिकली एड्रेस्ड to the beloved, whether an authentic beloved, a real beloved, or some imaginary beloved. So Amoreti, it is basically a sonnet sequence, and there are total 89 sonnets in this particular sequence. It was composed in 1595, and these sonnets are addressed to Elizabeth Boyle. Elizabeth Boyle is name of Spenser's second wife. After the death of his first wife, Spenser first courted and then married to this beautiful lady. These all sonnets are basically written in a typical Petrarchian manner, in which the poet worships his or her beloved, और जो एक पर्टिकुलर तरीका होता है जिसमें बहुत सुंदर सुंदर प्लेटोनिक एंड अदर इमेजेस को यूज किया जाता है, सिमिलर फैशन में स्पेंसर ने भी अपनी बिलवेड को कंपेयर करा है हेवनली ऑब्जेक्ट से. एक और इंटरेस्टिंग बात यहीं पर हम डिस्कस करते हुए चलते हैं, rhyme scheme of a Spenserian sonnet. We know already two major type of sonnets are, first is Shakespearean one या English one, जो मॉडिफाइड जिसका स्ट्रक्चर होता है, जिसमें राइम स्कीम ए बी इस तरह से क्वाट्रेन्स बने हुए होते हैं, एंड देन वी हैव अ कपलेट. इसके अलावा जो ट्रेडिशनल, जो बेसिक, जो ओरिजिनल फॉर्मेट हुआ करता था पेट्रार्कियन, या जिसे इंग्लैंड में मिल्टॉनिक सोनेट बोलते हैं, जिसके अंदर बेसिकली डिवीजन जो था वो हुआ करता था ऑक्टेव और सेस्टेट के अंदर. ठीक है, ये हम सभी जानते हैं, ये पेट्रार्कियन था. लेकिन स्पेंसर ने इन दोनों के बीच में एक और फॉर्मेट है, उसके अंदर देखिए देयर आर डिवीजन अकॉर्डिंग टू क्वाट्रेंस, लेकिन जो राइम स्कीम होती है वो डिफरेंट होती है. एंड इट इज इंपॉर्टेंट टू नोट, ये राइम स्कीम इंटरलिंक्ड स्टेंजा की होती है. ए बी that is common to Shakespearean stanza. After this, rather than C, we have once again B C. So now second quatrain and first quatrain, they are interlinked, and then we have once again C D. So once again second and third are interlinked, and then we have E. So this is a rather unique feature of a Spenserian sonnet. चलिए एमोरेटी के बाद सेकंड वर्क जिसको हम डिस्कस करेंगे जो थोड़ा रिलेटेड ही है इससे, वो है एपिथैलेमियन। देखिए एपिथैलेमियन इज in itself is a kind of genre. It is basically a long ode and it is written to commemorate the nuptial of the speaker, the poet himself and his bride. देखिए एपिथैलेमियन हमेशा से एक मैरिज सॉन्ग को हम बोलते आए हैं। ग्रीक लिटरेचर में बहुत सारे इंस्टेंसेस मिलते हैं इस टाइप के वर्क के, और ये एक मैरिज सॉन्ग जो होता है एक वेडिंग डे के बारे में, पूरा जो प्रिपरेशन है डे का, जो नप्शियल टाइज हैं, जो सेरेमनीज हैं, उन सबको बहुत ही एलिबरेट मैनर के अंदर डिस्क्राइब किया जाता है। Basically, it is quite erotic in nature, which was once again quite a common feature during the Elizabethan poetry. There are 24 stanzas and they are actually symbolic of number of hours in a day. Each hour is celebrated in one particular stanza. Though there are more than 400 lines, but if we count longer lines, there are 365 lines in total, and thus each line represents one single day of a year. So this whole poem is thus symbolically devised to present 1 year of great celebration in the life of the poet. चलिए आगे बढ़ते हैं हम, और जो नेक्स्ट हम वर्क देखते हैं वो एक और बहुत ही इंपॉर्टेंट वर्क है कॉम्पिटिटिव पॉइंट ऑफ व्यू से, और वर्क का नाम है कॉल एंड क्लाउड कम होम अगेन। वी हैव ऑलरेडी सीन शेपर्ड्स कैलेंडर के अंदर भी कॉल एंड क्लाउड फीचर करते हैं। दिस इज एन इमेज नेम ऑफ एन इमेजिनरी शेपर्ड, और ये इसको कंसिडर किया जाता है ग्रेटेस्ट पैस्टरल एक्लॉग इन इंग्लिश लैंग्वेज। मैं आपको ऑलरेडी बता चुका हूँ एन एक्लॉग एक टाइप की पैस्टरल पोएम होती है, मोस्टली इन फॉर्म ऑफ अ डायलॉग। इट इज बेस्ड ऑन सब्जेक्ट ऑफ स्पेंसर्स विजिट टू लंदन इन 1591। 1591 में आयरलैंड से जब इनको इनवाइट किया जाता है सर वाल्टर रेलिक के द्वारा, when he visit London and he witnessed court and court manners, he is inspired to write this particular poem. It is dedicated to Sir Walter Raleigh. Walter Raleigh जो उस समय के एक बहुत ही इन्फ्लुएंशियल कोर्टियर हुआ करते थे फिलिप सिडनी की तरह, और जो स्पेंसर हैं वो बोल रहे हैं इट इज लाइक पेइंग एन इनफाइनाइट डेट। जो हेल्प वाल्टर रैलिग ने करी थी स्पेंसर की इन हिज डिप्लोमेटिक एंड अदर सॉर्ट ऑफ करियर्स, उसको एक तरह से यहाँ पर सेलिब्रेट किया जा रहा है। एक्चुअली में दिस एक्लॉग इज वंस अगेन इन फॉर्म ऑफ अ डायलॉग बिटवीन शेपर्ड्स विद अ नैरेटिव एंड समटाइम सॉन्ग्स एज एन इनसेट इंट्रोडक्टरी पीस के रूप में, या तो कभी नैरेटिव चलते हैं एंड देन देयर आर सम सॉन्ग्स। इट वाज वंस अगेन पब्लिश्ड इन 1595. Okay, let's move forward, and then we have another marriage song written by Spenser. He has this merit of writing two marriage songs. Obviously the second one is not for himself, it is a nuptial song of twin sisters. They are Elizabeth and Catherine Somerset, and he celebrates their marriage in this rather we can say non-erotic poem. But this poem is now more popular because of the refrain, sweet Thames run softly till I end my song. I hope you all remember how Eliot make use of this refrain in his The Wasteland. Yes, it is taken from Prothalamion. So if we talk about marriage songs composed by Spenser, we have two songs, Epithalamion, which he composed for his own marriage, and Prothalamion, in which he celebrates marriage of these twin sisters Elizabeth and Catherine Somerset. Okay, you can look how diverse the genres which Spenser covers in his poetic journey. He has written an epic in itself, he has written sonnet sequence, he has written marriage songs, he has written now we will see a pastoral elegy in form of Astrophel, once again 1595. It is pastoral elegy on death of Sir Philip Sidney, one of his mentors and his great friend. Philip Sidney की डेथ के बाद एस्ट्रोफेल ये लिखा, it is dedicated to the most beautiful and virtuous lady, the Countess of Essex, which is basically Frances Walsingham, Sidney's widow. This once again is considered as greatest work in this genre. There are many writers who have composed pastoral elegies Tennyson, Milton, Spenser. These are some great names who have composed pastoral elegy. Matthew Arnold. And it is very important to know what are the title of their pastoral elegies and in whose memories these pastoral elegies are basically composed. So this one, astro means star. So this particular elegy is dedicated to Sir Philip Sidney. Okay, moving forward, we have a rather minor work, but from competitive point of view it is also important to know about this work. It is the Complaints. Actually it is not just one work, they are basically 9 small poems, tracts, which he composed at different stages of his life. The subtitle, it will tell us something about the poem, Sundry Small Poems of the World's Vanity. Now world's vanity, it itself makes clear that they are satirical in tone. Most important among these complaint is Mother Hubbard's Tale, which also goes with the title Prosopopoeia. So these two important information from for net point of view. First, this is a satirical work by Spenser. If you are asked which among these is a satirical work, Mother Hubbard's Tale, and this one, the alternative title of this poem. Now, what is the topic of satire? It is basically, this poem satirizes Queen Elizabeth's intended marriage to the French Catholic Duke, because it basically jeopardized the religious balance of England. England was at that time was basically a Protestant country, and this marriage basically posed a threat that it will turn into once again a Catholic country. So Spenser is satirizing this particular concept. The plot is inspired by the French beast allegory Reynard the Fox, and this one is also a very popular work from France, and it has been a source for many other poems and satires. Another poem from this section, from this complaint, is The Ruins of Time, and the subject of this poem is to celebrate the illustrious families of Earl of Leicester and Sir Philip Sidney. Then we have Tear of Muse, and this particular poem, Tear of Muse, is basically, it laments the poverty and neglect suffered by the poets, so on different subjects. Then even in this collection we have Virgil's Gnat, and this poem is basically based on Culex. This Culex is basically a poem by Virgil, a small short poem by Virgil, and Spenser has remodified it. Then we have once again a very important work, Muiopotmus, or The Fate of the Butterfly. Now the fate of the butterfly describes this tiny creature butterfly, its activities throughout the day, and it's given a large scale treatment, and once again a delightful reading it gives to the reader. There is also a political rather prose work by Spenser, that is View of the Present State of Ireland. This is a prose tract in which he approves the political condition of Ireland at that time. So you must know that one prose work, just like Milton is known for his Areopagitica, similarly Spenser is known for this prose tract, View of the Present State of Ireland. Now friends, apart from these, there are some other works by Spenser, some rather minor works. Four hymns, they are basically dedicated: hymn to beauty, then hymn to love, hymn to heavenly beauty, and hymn to heavenly love. You can say the secular and the religious kind of balancing in these, and the famous refrain, for all that fair is by nature good. Very old dictum, we can see it again and again, Keats using it in Go to Grecian Urn. All these kind of dictums, they are borrowed basically from Greek or Latin sources, and again and again used by the poets, English poets, and poets of other languages also. These are considered minor poems by Spenser. Okay, one more point. Spencerian stanza, which is a technical information. Spencerian stanza, friends, ये एक वर्स फॉर्म है जिसको स्पेंसर ने इन्वेंट किया था पर्टिकुलरली फेरी क्वीन के लिए. देखिए फेरी क्वीन का जो स्पेंसरियन स्टेंजा है ये बेसिकली इट इज स्टेंजा ऑफ 9 लाइन्स. जो 9 लाइन में से 8 लाइन्स होती हैं वो होती हैं आयम्बिक पेंटामीटर के अंदर. नाउ आयम्बिक पेंटामीटर में होने का मतलब क्या है. फर्स्ट जो बेसिकली इसके अंदर सॉरी फॉर दिस, जो ये 9 लाइन्स होती हैं बेसिकली ये आयम्बिक पेंटामीटर के अंदर होती हैं. आयम्बिक पेंटामीटर में होने का मतलब है जो फर्स्ट सिलेबल होता है वो अनस्ट्रेस्ड होता है और जो सेकंड सिलेबल होता है वो स्ट्रेस्ड होता है. ये तो बात हो गई 1 फीट की, 1 फुट की. और टोटल पेंटामीटर होने का मतलब इस तरह के 5 पेयर इसके अंदर होते हैं. तो 8 लाइन्स तो हो गई आपकी आयम्बिक पेंटामीटर में, और जो लास्ट लाइन है वो एक अलेक्जेंड्राइन होती है या आयम्बिक हेक्सामीटर में होती है. हेक्सामीटर होने का मतलब है 5 की जगह उसके अंदर 6 पेयर होते हैं. और अगर अपन राइम स्कीम की बात करें तो राइम स्कीम होती है इसकी ए बी एक क्वार्टरिन हो गया, बी सी वापिस से इंटरलिंक दूसरा क्वार्टरिन हो गया, और वापिस से जो एलेक्जेंड्राइन है वो लास्ट राइम को रिपीट करती है. तो दिस इज द टिपिकल स्ट्रक्चर ऑफ अ स्पेंसेरियन स्टेंजा जिसको उन्होंने यूज करा था फेरी क्वीन के लिए. बाद में भी बायरन और कीट्स ने इस पर्टिकुलर स्टेंजा को यूज किया है अपनी अपनी पोएम्स में. पूछा भी जाने वाला ये क्वेश्चन है आपको. अभी तो ये ध्यान रखना है स्पेंसेरियन स्टेंजा कैसे बनता है. Okay friends, this was all I have about Spenser. I have to discuss about Edmund Spenser. I hope ये काफ़ी हेल्पफुल रहा होगा आपको पोइट एडमंड स्पेंसर के बारे में बेसिक इंफॉर्मेशन देने के लिए. आई वुड रिकमेंड दैट यू स्टडी अबाउट फेरी क्वीन रादर इन डीप. उसकी बुक्स के और करेक्टर्स के बारे में थोड़ा सा और जानकारी आप रखें क्योंकि वो काफ़ी इंपॉर्टेंट है नेट पॉइंट ऑफ व्यू से. In coming lessons we will discuss some more important writers and poets, and I hope we will able to cover all the important writers. At the same time I request you to give your honest, frank and creative inputs regarding these lessons so that we can make them worthy of your time and worthy of your attention. Here signing off once again. Thank you friends.